So something that I woke up this morning remembering the the vans here, and telling a little joke to myself, which reminded me of something else that's very important that I'm about to show you guys about Zay Frank, and his connection with the Abrasics. But anyway, the little joke that I was telling myself this morning when I woke up, and remembered the vans here, where you can clearly see Zay Frank's been added in with, real comedic talent, like George Carlin, Jon Stewart. And it's like, dude, who are you trying to kid? You don't hold a candle to these guys. And one of the reasons why you don't, and this was the joke I was telling myself, is they've been in actual movies. And then I had to correct myself and said they've been in actual successful movies. Because Zay Frank has actually been in at least one movie. He's listed on the IMDb. Here we go. He's listed on IMDb as having been in Battle Pope. What the fuck is Battle Pope? There's Battle Pope, but then there's another one. Let's go back. It's right down here. Here we go. Here it is. Known for Strange Aeons, released in 2004, where he played additional crew. Why is this important? Well, the particular title of this movie, Strange Aeons, and it's sort of based on, I believe I read the description. In the description, it was like a sort of a Lovecraftian, a short film inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's Call of the Cthulhu. Well, H.P. Lovecraft was very much inspired by the Gnostic stories of the Aeons and the Archons. Now, the Aeons, so let me just pull this up. So again, this is a short movie called Strange Aeons. Strange Aeons, as in not regular Aeons, strange ones, which would imply Archons. And or it's just, not typical Aeons, like corrupted Aeons, which again would just imply Archons. Either way, let's have a look here. In Gnosticism, Aeons and Archons are both orders of spirits or spheres of being. So the Aeons are kind of the good side of it, quote-unquote good side of it, like the Pistis Sophia. Sophia was like the goddess of wisdom. Jesus is considered to be an Aeon, and it's actually supposed to be a combination of the Holy Spirit and Jesus that's like supposed to stop the Archons. I don't know. And the Holy Spirit would be kind of another word for Sophia, as far as I've pieced it together. And then the Archons, they were the builders of the physical universe. They were viewed as maleficent forces. In Gnosticism, there were usually 7 or 12 Archons, each associated with a planet or zodiac sign. Now, guess who was considered the Demiurge chief Archon? That's right. This guy right here. You can see right here it says he was known as the Great Archon. Supposedly ruled over 365 lesser lower Archons. He's the Demiurge creator Archon. Is the Abrasics. Just to show you again what it looks like. Let's see. Abrasic stones. See, it's that rooster-headed creature with the little snake legs. Oh, and you can see here, it's got like a crab shrimp creature next to it. Lobster, crab, shrimp. They're interchangeable. But it's when it comes to being symbolic and associated with the Abrasics. How many different videos has Zay Frank made about shrimp and crabs, included crabs and shrimp and so on and so forth? There was like the skeleton shrimp. There was the clown shrimp thing. He talks about a clown shrimp a lot in one of them. There's more than that. off the top. Just I'm not thinking about them off the top of my head. But actually, let's go back and look. But yeah, so just to lay this to rest, though, I just want to make sure that I'm solidifying this for you guys. The Abraxas, this creature that has the head of a rooster and 2 snake legs. I've been talking about how this is associated with Frank. Frank references this creature quite often in his YouTube videos in many different ways. We can see right here, it is associated with crabs, lobsters, shrimp. And another connection is that this thing is known as an archon. Okay, its opposite being an aeon, and it would be known as like a strange aeon. So the archons actually, you could consider the archons to be fallen aeons. And some of what I've read, some of the sort of Gnostic stuff I've read, and there are a few different sort of versions, slightly differing versions, because Gnosticism has been around for at least 1,000 years. And you know how it goes. Religions tend to morph ever so slightly over the years, over the centuries. People come at it with their own ideas and opinions and their own writings and can change it slightly. But overall, the idea is that the Aeons and the Archons are opposites of each other, and that the Archons were once Aeons. The Aeons are like of the spirit world, the ethereal world, intangible qualities like bravery and empathy and such stuff like that. Whereas the Archons were whatever. They are the rulers of the material world. They represent the stuff that traps the soul and the spirit. They are rulers of flesh. And the Archons were supposedly fallen aeons. Like Pistis Sophia was considered to be a fallen aeon, but she was redeemed. So you could say for a little while she was possibly something akin to an Archon, or she's an in-between type of character. But anyway, yeah. What are the odds, guys? What are the odds that Ze Frank is showing all of these connections with Abraxas? And he's listed on the IMDb as having been a part of this movie called Strange Aeons. And a strange aeon is basically, it's an archon. And if you ever needed to think about what here, let's look at this picture. Strange aeons. So you can clearly see there it's sort of a very blurry idea of a Cthulhu. Let's see how Cthulhu are quite often. I forget how Cthulhu. Yeah, there we go. How they're depicted. Yeah, see, monsters. Quite often with weird, snaky, spidery, octopi type, oh my gosh, little tendrils and such. All right. So the Cthulhu would kind of be H.P. Lovecraft's, his version likely of sort of the archons, the Gnostic archons. And supposedly there was one of these for each planet and one for the sun. Yaldabaoth, for example, was the archon of Saturn. Right, and the Abraxas is associated with the sun. However, you can just look at them as being like multiple heads of the Hydra beast. They're just different faces of the same exact thing. That's how I see them anymore. But yeah. Ze Frank was in a movie called Strange Aeons: The Awakening. He was an extra. He wasn't even featured. He was an extra. What was he played? What'd you play? Additional crew. In a movie that's title is very much related to the idea of Gnosticism, Aeons, Archons, Abrasics. Like, it's just, it's what, how many, what are the words I'm looking for? Degrees of separation. Barely even half a degree, really. Oh yeah, so let's go and look at really quickly. I just wanted to have a look at how many times does Zay Frank make stuff with okay, so first of all, here we go. We got like a demon shrimp on the front of his last one. How a species gets a name. Jellyfish. Jellyfish with tendrils. You know, tendrils, like what I just showed you. With the Cthulhu. Representing Archons. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that creature there looks kind of like a demon shrimp. But I think he even calls it a demon shrimp in the video. But let's try to stick to... Oh, here we go. The incredible adaptations of shrimp. Shrimp that hunt starfish. And this is where he talks about clown shrimp. Clowns are also associated with Archons. I'm not the only person to point that out. There are whole other YouTube channels dedicated to showing how clowns and the imagery of clowns, the color coding used by clowns, which is red, blue, white, and yellow, by the way, is very much associated with the Nephilim, the fallen ones, the Archons, you know. Oh, here we go. Crabs. Incredible crab stories. There was another one. There's at least one other. There's something about a shrimp. Nudibranchs. There we go. Skeleton shrimp. 4 years ago. So, that's a lot. Right? He has at least 2 different videos about shrimp. He's got one about crabs. He has another one where he at least mentions shrimp and calls it like a demon shrimp and puts it on the front there. Right? He's only got, like, for example, in comparison, he only has one episode about hippos. He only has one episode about like, he's got 2 episodes about the echidna, and I cover that in my other video, well, in the, you know, the sort of documentary video I've been putting out. The echidna is known as the mother of monsters. He's got one about bees, as far as I've seen. Also, frogs. Frogs are related to the Abrasics because Carl Jung, the noted psychologist, he wrote extensively about the Abraxas, and he called the Abrasics the Lord of Frogs and Toads. Right? So yeah, I just want to show you guys, and remember, why are we looking at crabs and shrimp and such? Because it is very much related to the Abrasics. You see that little crab, shrimp, lobster thing there, off to the side of the Abrasics. It's basically just another, it's another symbol of the Abrasics. And you also see this as, it was a monster sent to hurt Hercules in Greek mythology. There was a crab monster sent by Hera. So as Hercules was fighting off the Hydra monster, the multi-headed monster, here we go, show you this. Hercules, crab, monster. There we go. Carcinos. Hera sent Cancer to distract Hercules during his second labor when he was fighting the Hydra monster. All right? So there, you can see he's fighting this multi-headed Hydra monster. And then there's these crab and lobster creatures that are bothering him down in his foot. And he's just, crushing them. And there are a lot of different depictions of this. There's the Hydra, the multi-headed beast monster. But then it's got a little friend that comes to help him. That little lobster down there. You can see it bothering the heel of Hercules. See it? Off to the bottom left there. Here we go. Some pottery depicting this. You can see Hercules fighting the multi-headed Hydra. And you can see the crab at his heel. So yes, this is an ancient idea. This notion of, this goes back a long, long, long time, as does the Abrasics. This notion of the crab being associated with the Abrasics being connected to the Abrasics, almost as if they're buddies, they're friends. Like, hey, yo, pal, want to hang out later and mess with Hercules some more? Like that. All right? And again, this thing is, you can see the rays coming out of his head. It's a sun deity. It's known as a sun deity. The Abrasics. Rules over 365 lesser archons. So rules over 365 days. He's trapped within the material world. He's trapped within the Ouroboros here. It's the snake eating its own tail. All right. Yeah, I'm going to stop babbling, but that's what's going on here. Zay Frank. Was it a shitty movie? Oh, I wish I could pull that up. How can I watch that movie? I would just love to see the 2 seconds that you were in that movie. Oh my gosh. Should I tell you guys right now? No, I'll wait. It's a surprise. I'll wait until it gets here, but I ordered something. I got myself one present for the year, for Christmas this year, all right? One present. I allowed myself one thing. And it should be on its way. And I'll show you guys when it gets here. And I'm so excited because I'm going to have so much fun fucking with this thing. All right, yeah, let me leave it there. Strange Aeons, everybody. Strange Aeons. Zay Frank was in this thing. Strange Aeons or Archons. Okay, bye-bye.